Well, corporate welfare or just keeping up with the competition. Whatever it is, Tennessee is handing out hundreds of millions of dollars in exchange for promises of jobs, handing this money out to private companies. The Center Square took a hard look at corporate accountability under this program, finding companies often fall short on their promises. And what happens when they do?
The real question that I think most people are interested in is, do you enforce the clawback provision? The answer is yes, we do.
Over the past 8 years alone, the state of Tennessee has awarded more than $760 million in grants to about 585 private companies. The state calls them grants. Government accountability groups call them corporate welfare. Now, this is enticement money to make relocations and expansions go through. In exchange, these companies promise to create jobs. A lot of states do the same thing, including Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia, and Texas. The issue has come to a head in Tennessee, though, this year because the state is giving a $30 million grant to Starbucks to open new Southeast corporate headquarters in Nashville. Critics have been questioning why a highly successful company like Starbucks should get taxpayer money to move to a bustling city like Nashville. We asked the state's recruiter-in-chief, Economic Development Commissioner Stuart McWhorter, why give this money to Starbucks?
When someone comes up to you and specifically mentions Starbucks, because that was the big question, even in the meeting, why are you giving this really big company that's making money? Why are you giving them $30 million to locate their regional office here? What do you say to the everyday person?
Sure. Well, first of all, it was highly competitive. We were one of 3 states that they were looking at, and we knew that. We were aware of the competitiveness of that. And so it wasn't as if they said, we're going to come to Tennessee no matter what. What can you give us to help us make life easier? It was not that. We had to compete. And we compete just like with Starbucks. We compete on every project that comes our way. Even if companies expand, they're already here and they're looking for an expansion. They look to other states because they have other locations too. So it's always competitive.
Starbucks, by the way, has been shifting out of Washington state for various reasons. Not only did Seattle's Democratic Socialist mayor once call for a boycott of the company, but state lawmakers approved the millionaire's tax. The company hasn't directly linked that tax to its move to Nashville. Here's where things get more interesting. McWhorter says it's rare for the state to have to claw back money from companies that don't fulfill their contracts, that don't create the number of jobs they've promised. But the Center Square obtained the department's own internal spreadsheet tracking clawbacks through a public records request. It shows clawbacks have happened 71 times since 2016. Through that process, the state has collected $92.4 million back from 55 companies and is still fighting for more. The state is still owed $20.1 million from 18 companies. That includes $8.8 million still owed from judgments obtained in court and $6.1 million owed by 5 companies that's tied up in litigation. In one of the most stark failures of this program, the state gave $3 million in 2017 to a company called Textile Corporation of America, which promised 1,000 jobs in Pikeville. The company created 0 jobs, and its owners, who were twin brothers, went to prison on wire fraud and conspiracy charges. So far, the state has gotten back about $1 million of that $3 million grant. McWhorter told us the state tries to prevent things like this from happening.
It's really important on the front end when we initiate these grants. We do all the due diligence on the front end. We want to make sure the company has proof of funds, that they are in good standing, so that if this happens and there's a clawback, we have assurance that we are going to get paid back. And those conversations are had up front. There's a clear understanding of what these accountability agreements are and what they mean. And so if and when that time comes, and again, it's rare, but if and when that time comes and there's a clawback, there should be no surprises.
Now, it's government accountability groups like the Beacon Center of Tennessee and the Tennessee chapter of Americans for Prosperity who are speaking out against these grants, but many Republicans still support it.
The reason why we do incentives is we as a state are strictly prohibited to very few income generating modes or methods. Those generally are F&E, corporate taxes, and then sales tax. So those are the 2 big ones, and then fuel tax, of course. But whenever we add a job, we're adding a sales taxpayer. So when you look at it from an incentives basis, yes, we're distributing fought for dollars from its citizens into these businesses, but the goal here is to look at, okay, based upon this investment the state has, what do we think our return on that investment is going to be through those utilization taxes that we have? Because we have no income tax. And so we need payers in seats in order to continue to provide services through the state. And so this is a way in which we could do it.
Meanwhile, FastTrack has become a hot topic on the campaign trail in the current race for Tennessee governor. 2 Republican candidates have called this corporate welfare. That's State Representative Monty Fritz and Congressman John Rose. Rose also attacked Starbucks' West Coast values. Another Republican candidate, U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn, expressed support for FastTrack. She says the state will get that $30 million back in payroll taxes in about 6 months. Again, this is The States, powered by the Center Square.